ሰላም ዛሬ በተነጋገርነው መሰረት ብለድ ኮምፖነንትስ አብረን የምንመለከት ይሆናል። ከዛ በፊት ግን what is blood የሚለውን ነገር አብራራላችሁ። blood it is a specialized connective tissue በሰውነታችን ውስጥ አራት አይነት ቲሹዎች አሉ። ከነዛ ውስጥ blood it is a type of connective tissue. It's a specialized connective tissue and this blood circulate in our body through a closed systems of vessels, and when we see the volume of blood it is around 5 liters in an average adult. So this blood is a specialized connective tissue. Second, what are the components of blood? So we can divide the components of blood based on the products after centrifuge. Assume this is a blood that's drawn from a patient, and after we put this blood into centrifuge, we will get these three components. So when we see these three components, the first component or the yellow part is the plasma. It is around 55%, and the white part or the smallest part is the buffy coat that contains white blood cells and platelet, and it account only 1%. And the bottom part is or the red part is erythrocyte, is around 45%. So this buffy coat and the erythrocyte part, we call it the cellular part, and the plasma part, we call it the fluid parts. So when we see the components of blood, we can divide it into two. So components of blood, we can divide it into two. One is the formed cellular element, which contains the cells like white blood cells and red blood cells and platelet, and the other part is the fluid parts, and the fluid part is the yellow part or the plasma part, the plasma part or the fluid part. So component of blood can be divided into two: formed cellular elements that contains the red blood cell, white blood cell and platelet, and the fluid part or the yellow part that we call it the plasma part. So this is the components of blood, and we'll discuss each one by one in the next video. First, what are the components of the plasma? So this the 55% or the yellow part, we call it plasma, and this plasma contains different components. From these components, 90% is water, and the other 9% is organic compounds like amino acids, hormones, and proteins. And the other components of the plasma, around 1% is inorganic salts and dissolved gases and nutrients. So those are the components of plasma. And from this component of plasma, there are plasma proteins, and there are different type of plasma proteins that with different function. From this type of plasma proteins, for example, albumin is one type of plasma protein. The other is globulin, albumin, globulin. We have alpha, beta, and gamma globulin, and the other plasma proteins including clothing proteins and complement proteins, and also the fibrinogens. Those are the plasma proteins, and we will discuss each one by one in the next videos.